The world is crazy right now.
Cray cray.
Cray cray. It's on fire. Every time you turn around, you get chaos and you get chaos
Right.
and
Everybody
chaos
get
there,
chaos.
and chaos there, and everybody gets chaos. Mm-hmm. And while as Christians, right, we may be still going to church, still praying, doing all the things, right? Like we could deep down maybe be thinking, wait a minute, Jesus.
Right? You coming back today? Or no?
Right? Like, cause what is
going on? You're around the corner.
You're around the corner. And it's also gonna be like, why you ain't moving? Why you letting some of this stuff happen? Like, you just gonna let us do this,
right?
Oh. And sometimes when it's really chaotic, you can feel as if God stopped speaking, and as if God stopped moving.
Yeah, for sure, because the chaos can be like so much louder than God's voice at times, and it could just be super distracting.
Yeah, and overwhelming.
For sure.
And that is the whole point of the enemy, right? Like he
he thrives in distraction and chaos and all of that.
He thrives just like you said in distraction and in chaos. He likes to wear you down. You know what I'm saying? Every time you turn around, here's a headline. And here's another headline. And some of them might not even be true, but that's another conversation. But here's a headline, and here's another headline, and eggs $10. And
that part.
And all of the things. And before we know it, we can be so focused on the state of the world that we begin to completely lose focus of God and what God is actually trying to do.
Yeah, it can be easy to do, like, because we joke all the time, but I try to stay away from news and just not even be indulged in that because of how it can drown out God's voice and distract me from what God's trying to do.
Yeah, for sure. News and even people's opinions. Because everybody want to be a TikTok prophet.
Gosh.
And
that's true. That's definitely true.
And a TikTok preacher. And everybody, you know what I'm saying, got something to say.
Like, okay, see, now you got me.
Uh-oh.
I ain't gonna be on the rant too long, but I should not. Every TikTok should not be God said. Like, and if y'all really in the spirit, y'all will be on the same page. If y'all really in the spirit, y'all will be aligned. Like how you said God said this, and then somebody else said God said this, and it conflict with each other.
You just done God.
Just lying.
Yeah, you just done.
Prophet lying.
Now I'm triggered because that everything is God said. It's just like, bro.
And honestly. People are super bold because I would never fix my mouth unless I truly believe God said something to me.
On my bed. Sorry. Go ahead.
No facts. Unless I truly believe God said something to me, you would never catch me. God said. Like,
no.
How can you be so bold to even?
Yeah. No, that is so real, and there's just so many opinions. All of these opinions can drown out God's voice. Next thing you know, you ain't really moving in the spirit, you know what I'm saying? You ain't feeling as connected to God. And then if we're not careful, we can then start to move or do things that then cost us. Can I say everything? I don't want to be dramatic. But in some ways,
sometimes it can feel like it costs everything.
It cost Moses everything.
Yeah,
it did. Let's talk about Moses. How that man, God bless him. He was hot.
Yeah.
He was tired.
I mean, they were in the freaking desert. Like, that's crazy. For years, bro.
4 years is a long
this man.
time.
Yeah, he was better than me.
Yeah. I imagine just the chaos.
Yeah.
That he was surrounded by. With trying to be a leader, trying to lead these, I'm about to say stubborn mofos. I need to find another word. But trying to lead all of these.
That is so good because you was talking about opinions. Imagine how many opinions he had to deal with on a daily basis, bro.
You brought us out here to die.
Exactly. You trying to kill us. Oh, back in Egypt, we was eating good. Like, what you brought us out here for? You could have left us in Egypt and hearing all of this. Even I think his sister and Aaron had started turning on him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you said opinions, I thought about it. Like, I can only imagine how many opinions he had to deal with, and just imagine how that drowned out and discouraged him from hearing God.
Come on, imagine how much that just wore and tore, I think that's the word I'm looking for, him and his emotions.
Yeah.
And so now, because he's so worn out, you know what I'm saying, God says, speak to this rock. and water's gonna flow from it. He's so annoyed with the people. He's so tired. Listen, he now strikes the rock twice. And then God's like, well,
yeah,
sorry, player. You was disobedient. I told you to speak to it. You struck it. And because of that, you don't enter into my promised land.
That is so real. And I think sometimes we read passages like that and we be side-eyeing God like, dang, God, that was kind of mean. Like, but we got to understand that obedience is more than an action. Like, obedience is the way that you obey. Because God gave him a specific order. Like, I want you to speak to the rock, not strike the rock. And because he chose to disobey, because he's God representative, that's also misrepresenting God in a bad way too.
Yeah. And so then God's like, I ain't bet.
Yeah. I got something for that.
Yeah, that is so real. He was caught up in his emotions, right? I think there was a scripture that God says that you didn't show me as holy. I believe. I wrote it down. God's response to that, Numbers 20:12 in the International Children's Bible. But the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, you did not believe me. You did not honor me as holy before the people. So you will not lead them into the land I will give them. And it goes back to what you said about how people look at God like, dang, like this, like you so harsh, God. But God is like, in this world, right, where it's so easy to question God's integrity.
Right.
It's so easy to question God's intentions. How are we, you know what I'm saying, representing him? Are we hopping on the bandwagon of, I don't know, God's good. Right. He a little iffy. You know what I'm saying? Are we hopping on the bandwagon with the rest of the world? Are we going to stand 10 toes down and say, no matter what's going on in the world, God is God? No matter if we agree or disagree, getting out of your own opinions. Okay, I'm going to move on.
That's good, because you got to know what you believe. Because if you're not rooted, this world will sway you all over the place. Who was that? James? And James,
a double-minded man.
Yeah, you can easily be double-minded. So just piggybacking off of what you were saying, like we as Christians have to know what we believe. So that way, when we see the news headline, when we hear about what's going on, when we see the false prophet on TikTok or whatever,
they gonna be there.
We are in such a place of intimacy with God that we know what we believe, and like you said, believe that God is God, no matter how we feel or what we think.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes we just gotta make a choice.
Facts. Yeah, and also the constant exposure can really cause us to be spiritually numb. So that's why we really have to guard our eye gates and guard our eye gates.
Ear gates,
same thing.
eye gates,
ear gates, mouth gates. There we go.
There it is.
So we have to really be intentional about guarding those gates, because it can cause us. We don't even realize we're becoming spiritually numb. But I feel like the enemy, he uses that to just drop things in our subconscious, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, now we feel a type of way towards God. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, where does this come from?
Exactly.
Like, where does thought come from? Like, oh my gosh. And all the times we just be brain rotting, scrolling on TikTok, scrolling on Instagram, scrolling on Facebook, and we think that it's innocuous, right? Because sometimes we just want to decompress. But not everything is innocuous. Not everything is just all a funny game.
Yeah, that's so real, and it doesn't really have anything to do with this topic, but just think about music, for example. How long ago can you listen to a song and you still know it when you hear it? You can still recite the lyrics, it's still on the tip of your tongue. Yep. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, so I just feel like, yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, you know where you was.
Yeah, you know right. You know where you was, what you was doing. Yeah, exactly. That's real though.
It'd be like, oh, wait a minute.
Right, like, I ain't heard this song in 10 years, but I still remember it.
Yeah, like, I was about to fight Billy Bob. And you know what I'm saying?
No, facts.
I am screaming. But no, in all, I play too much. I'm for real though, but you know.
Like, if you heard, what's that song? I bet y'all used to come out on Meat Meal at the game.
I used to pray for times like this. How to run like this. So I had
and see, for me, I was in the club. Like, I wasn't a clubber, but I was in a club when I would hear those songs. And,
hold on, wait a minute. Listen.
And the whole club be jumping, like, and I be standing there with my drink, like, can I go home?
like why? Nah, I ain't videos of you be in there.
No, but I wasn't like that. No, I was doing that, but I wasn't jumping around and all that.
I see videos. Don't try to cap. Nah.
I was definitely singing along and stuff, but you know all that. Well, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was pull a memory up, like things get downloaded in your subconscious.
No, literally, as we're seeing this, I am literally imagining, literally, as we were talking about this, a time we was getting ready to play. It was me and all my teammates. There was nobody. Well, there's some white people there. There were some
light-skinned
saints, Europeans there, and so we was playing. Meek Mill was playing, and then like we all got our phones, and then that part came on. Everybody was just jumping, just hype. I hope we won. I can't even remember if we won or lost, but just going.
But you remember what y'all was doing?
But I remember what we were doing. Like, we were having a good old time. And so the point is all of these things, right? And think about. Here we go. Think about what he says. How disrespectful. How toxic those lyrics.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Really,
eating it up.
Really are, yeah. And we just, like you said, just be eating it up. And now that stuff is just resting inside, in our spirits. Yeah. It's just kind of resting in our spirits. And then when something pop off, you know what I'm saying? It could be life, it could be whatever. Instead of a scripture or a Jesus song popping up so that I can handle this situation in the spirit. Now I just automatically handle it in the flesh because that's what I've been intaking.
Building up, yeah, exactly.
So this stuff isn't innocuous. If we continue to consume all of the chaos and not allow and not even seek God. See, this is small rant. Small rant. Because we get so focused on the chaos, we don't ever stop to ask God, what are you trying to do in it?
That's good.
How are you using it? Are you trying to position me somewhere? Like what is it? We never seek God for understanding, for wisdom. We just point the finger.
Yeah, because we distracted.
That's good. Go ahead.
Yeah, like you said, we just get distracted in the chaos to where I think you even get to a point where you don't even care about, like, you're not even thinking about or care about what God is doing. All you thinking about is being inconvenienced.
Oh, that's good.
In this season, in this stage of my life, or whatever, you're not even thinking about the big picture. You're just like me. I'm
that's
uncomfortable.
So
I hate this season. I'm tired of waiting. I. When God is really trying to maybe show us a different side of who He is, provide for us in a different way. So I also think that sometimes it's more so to where, we just not even. We don't even care because it's all about us in that moment. Yeah.
And that's precisely what the enemy wants. Because that keeps you distracted from what God is really trying to do. I'm trying to tell y'all, God is moving. But many of us can't see it because we're so stuck on feeling inconvenience, and $10 for eggs and rent is crazy. and she got a man and she got 6 figures. And whatever she went to Cabo, and I don't know.
And which are all good things, right? But it's what makes it a bad thing is how we accuse God of not being for us when His word says that He is for us. So the problem comes in because a lot of things that we're reaching for and wanting, some things are not good. Some things can be idols, but
for sure.
A lot of those things are good. It's just the way that we go about it and the way that we allow those things to cause us to become idols and cause us to view God. I think is the issue.
Yeah, precisely. And so all we're saying, we're gonna wrap up because we done talking. We passed time. Praise the God of the Bible. Is that don't allow the enemy to distract you. Don't get so caught up in your own opinions, in your own preferences, in your own emotions that it makes you miss out on what God is actually doing. That's it. That is all. So we want to challenge you all. If you're feeling overwhelmed, drowned out by feeling consumed with the chaos, I dare you to start to go into prayer and begin to ask God to open your eyes and reveal what it is He's trying to do for you throughout this chaos.
And that's good. And at our church, we're in a Blessing Watch series. That's something that I think that we all should be doing. We should be living in expectation. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Of what God is trying to do.
Okay. It's another conversation. So, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this with your mama and daddy and brother and sister and all of them. Yeah. Go be great. We out.
KP out.